Hi and welcome to another video. So this time we will be working on this Huawei P8 Lite from 2015. It has a shattered back glass above the camera and the front is destroyed. Surprisingly, the display is still working, but I have no touch. By that I mean zero. In neither of the corners, nowhere. But at least I know the phone is functional. So if you can see, the phone is destroyed. So what I'm worried is that I will not be able to repair this edge around, or the display will come without one. But I won't be 100% sure until I disassemble this. So we will start by removing the back cover, which from what I understand it's just clipped in place and we can unclip it. So let's do that. Alright, so we have the back cover off. It had a lot of adhesive and here appears to be some water damage or something. I don't know. We'll have to investigate further. But this thing had a lot of adhesive that was quite strong, and also the glass here is completely shattered. So yeah, that was the back cover off. Here I think it's dirt or something else. So yeah, that was it. Now we'll have to take everything apart in order to separate the display. Right, so I have cleaned the back cover. I have taken off the broken glass. And I will be keeping this for parts and ordering a new one, since I cannot find only the glass. If I could have found only the glass, the back cover would be fine. So here it's an L21, which is for the model. And also I have these two pieces which are for the flash trim. This one sits under the plastic, this one sits on top of the plastic but under the glass. So I will be keeping this as well, since I don't know if the new glass comes with them or not. And now moving further, we have to take apart the phone. And this one has two types of screws. These are Phillips screws, and the black ones are Torx screws. So I have to be very careful when placing them. I have this to keep them organized. So yeah, you should be careful not to mismatch them, since it can cause problems. And also the phone still has the warranty papers, so it has never been opened. And on the battery we have 2016. So it's a little bit newer than what I have said. I thought it was released in 2015, but it's produced in 2016 or 17, who knows. So let's start the disassembly process. Right, so with a little bit of prying, this thing is out. And this is how you keep your screws organized. So I have placed them in order, and the parts, they came from near. So now all we have to do is to take out the motherboard. We have disconnected the battery. Now let's disconnect a few more things. And I think this thing down here should be the display connector, if I'm not wrong. Okay, now I'll have to look how to take out the motherboard, because I don't want to break anything. Right, so after I looked up, this seems to be a charging coil for wireless charging. I don't know, but the guy seemed to remove this cover here, which I have tried, but I was afraid not to break anything. So let's try removing it. Seems to just be glued in place. Right, so I will let it be attached here. and we have to take out the button flex cable. I need my fine tweezers for this because it's too small. And we have removed the buttons. Okay, so now we have to take out the SIM cards and storage card trays. Alright, so I have taken them out. Now the motherboard should come out if I didn't miss anything. So let's see. Right, so the motherboard is out in one big piece, and I think this was some thermal paste or something, and here this is water damage, you can clearly see. So I'll clean this as best as I can, but for now this is sufficient enough. We will have to take out the screen next. Right, so now for the screen removal, the process is quite easy. I have to hit all around and pry it from underneath. But because this corner is broken, I can put even my finger underneath the display. And since it is broken, the touchscreen is broken, I want to keep the display in one piece to have it for parts or sell it or do something with it. So I'm not gonna film the removing of the display because you can see in most of my videos how I do it. So basically I have my hot air station here, I heat it up, I have my playing cards, and I just try to be gentle enough not to break anything. So I'll be back after I finish removing the screen. Alright, so after some work the screen is done. I have taken it off. I hope the display is still working, but I'm not so sure. I'll have to test it, but first I want to clean everything that is adhesive. And look at this, clear sign of water damage. So I want to clean this really good, test if the display is still working, and then think about if it's worth saving or not. Right, so I have cleaned the phone and assembled it to see if the display is still working, and it is. And this is the phone network that this phone is locked into, or that's what I suppose. It could be unlocked, but you may never know. So I don't think it has enough battery to turn all the way on. So I will try powering it off. I just wanted to see if the display was working, and it is. Yeah, so now back apart and order parts. Alright, so the package for the Huawei has arrived. Let's open it. Alright, so the box was totally a fail. Let me take this off. Here's some packaging. And in here we should have the parts needed. So let's take this off. Some more elastics to keep my phone tight when I glue the display, if you're wondering where those came from. And here should be my parts. Here is the back cover. So I'm going to do this phone in white. It's a brand new part. And here is the display, which should also be a brand new part. Right. And here is the guarantee sticker that I don't want to break. So we are going to test this. So for that I will take the phone, which is here with the old display still attached from the last time I have checked it. So I'm gonna take this display off, connect the new one, keep the phone a little bit to charge in order to see if we have anything. And then I will be back to show you if the new display works or not. Alright, so this display is clearly broken. And by that I mean very clearly broken. There's no way this is the image I get. I should have the Huawei logo and then the startup. But no, I got nothing. And let's disconnect the battery. And now the phone is off. And I have connected everything the way I should. Here is the display connector, here on the top is the touchscreen connector. So the display connector sits perfectly, the display looks brand new, but it does not work properly. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make a call, return this one, maybe get another one, I don't know, we'll see. Alright, so I have put the old one just to make sure that it's not my fault, it's the display which is broken. And if we power this thing on, see, the Huawei logo. On the other one, just some lines, nothing too much. So yeah, I'm gonna call the guys from which I bought the display and tell them what happened, send them some pictures if they want to, and get my money back or get another functional one. Alright, so the new replacement display is here. I have returned the old one and asked for a replacement, and I hope that this one works. And as you can see, I am back at my parents' house. I'm not currently at my house, so I don't have all of my equipment, but I had to do this order because if I'm not home they couldn't ship it to me, so I had to bring it here and test it. Okay, so here we should have the new one. And I hope this one is working. So let's take out the phone and test it. Alright, I have put it together and now let's see if it works. Oh, I was pressing the wrong button. It vibrated, and this time we have an image, which is very good. And if the touchscreen is working, it's even better. And the logo for the service provider. And also I forgot to mention that the return process and receiving this one was free of charge, because that's normal from what I believe. I mean, if you receive a product that's defective, I think it's quite normal to send it back and receive a functional one. And let's see. Okay, so some warning message. I will try some more and I'll be back. Okay, so after playing a little bit with it, I got it to function. It works okay. I'll have to test it a little bit more and maybe wait a couple of weeks until I go back home to finish the repair, because I have to strengthen the frame all around because the display doesn't fit. You have seen how badly damaged the other one was. But yeah, I'm happy that this one works. So yeah, the first one was a fail, but the second one works. Hi and welcome back to the Huawei. So for you it might have been a couple of seconds, but for me it has been a couple of weeks, maybe more. So last time when I have received this, it was around Christmas. Now it's, I don't know, a couple of more weeks later. So an update, the touchscreen is still working and the display also. I managed to copy all of the data from the phone and resetted it, and everything is working fine. So another update is that I managed to straighten the frame because it was completely destroyed and the new one would not fit. So I managed to straighten it. It was a very long process. Basically, try rounding out a little bit of the edge, then test fitting the display and so on. And I managed to sort of repair this corner here. Doesn't look great, but you can put your finger underneath the screen and the dust will not enter as easily. So this took a lot of ingenuity and I'm proud of my work. And there may be some of you asking, but why didn't you buy a new display complete with the frame or buy another frame that was good? Well, basically I do these phones on a budget and I want to earn a little bit of money from every phone. If I were to buy the new frame together with the display and the back cover that I have here, I wouldn't have made any money. Of course I have the old back cover and the old display. If I could have just found the piece of glass that was broken, this back cover could have been saved, but I will keep it for parts anyways. And the old display I will also keep it for parts as it is still working. I mean the display part, not the touchscreen part. But you know, if it's working, I'll keep it for parts. And now, after finishing with the frame, I just wanted to test the phone again. And now we can assemble the display. You can glue it in place and complete the assembly of the phone. And as a side note, do you remember in the beginning of the video I think I said that this was the charging coil for a wireless charging? Well, I think it is not, because it's connected right here on the motherboard and doesn't have anything to do with the battery. So after looking through the phone, and I will show you, where was it? I don't see it anymore, but oh, like this. So you can see it have NFC. So what I'm thinking is that this is the NFC coil, and I might be correct, I might be wrong. So if you know the answer, leave a comment. Alright, so now let's turn it off, take the display out, prepare everything to be glued in place, and let's do this. Alright, so I have placed this double-sided adhesive tape just to make sure. Now I have the B7000 adhesive and the display itself. And I want to make sure that here it's not any protective film, which I think it's not. It's only this blue film here, which I will need to remove, or it is not. should be a film. And it was a film. Alright, now leaving it like this, let's put the adhesive. One edge is done, now the other. Alright, now on the bottom side. And now on the top side. So I think it's enough adhesive. Let's put the cap back. Let's remove the tape cover. Alright, now we have the front speaker piece in place and we should be able to position the display. Okay, now let's press it into place. It sits flush with the phone. But the earpiece speaker is not. I'll have to fix it. Okay, so now it is sitting well and we have to put the elastics all around the phone. Alright, so everything seems to be fine except this plastic film here. Right, so face down it is, and some weights on top of it. We'll start with my set of keys, then the double-sided adhesive tape, and finally a box where I have some more tools. So we'll leave it until tomorrow and we'll see how well it glued down. Alright, so it is now a couple of days later. Let's remove the rubber bands. Alright, now let's fit the motherboard. Now let's put the screws back, and I'm gonna do that really fast, and by that I mean I'm not gonna film it. Alright, so now that everything has been screwed down, with the screws going in the correct places because I had them aligned right here, tested it again, everything seems to be working fine. And yeah, let's put the SIM trays, and I mean one is for the SIM card, one is for the expandable memory, the SD card. So that one is in, and this should be this way, and they are in. Now we'll have to take the new back glass, and I don't know if this one has some adhesive underneath here. Ah, it does. That's perfect. So let's wipe everything down one more time. Forgot to test the camera, see if they work. So okay, will not activate anything. This one seems to be working fine. And if we change the camera, this one also seems to be working fine. So everything seems to be okay. I will look at a little bit of camera and then put the back cover. Okay, so after wiping everything, I have this thing here that blows air. So I can make sure there is nothing more. Now let's peel the stickers from here to unveil the adhesive. Right, this seems to be all. And now let's place it and finish this phone.